And I started crying, and I said yes, but he didn't hear me, and we were like kissing, and
then I
rolling
go,
around on the
and then I go,
floor.
well.
And he was like, well, and I'm like, hello. I said, if I was going to say no, I would have gotten up, kicked you in the balls, and left. You know? I mean, hello. So, that's how he proposed. And he didn't have a ring, but that was okay. I didn't need one at the time.
Was it a big surprise to you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, my God, yes. Yeah.
When did it dawn on you that maybe you should tell your parents?
Well, this was at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I figured I'd tell you. I don't know, because I didn't even tell. Did I tell Jason that night?
Yes.
Yeah, I got out of bed and I told Jason because
Well,
I was really nervous.
he got back at
6:30.
6:30 from his little excursion with his Asian
beauty at
beauty.
the strip club. So we kind of left him alone. But yeah, I told him, and I was real nervous about telling him, but I told him, and then.
What was his reaction?
He said something about the amount of time we'd known each other.
Oh yeah, he thought it was kind of weird, but he thought it was cool. I mean, he kind of warmed up to it. He was like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, I like Eric, you know, that's cool. And then I didn't tell anybody else except him. And then we went all through that night, and I dressed up, and I had this dress Mom and I picked out, and we went out on the town, and it was 10 seconds before midnight again. Well, it was 10 seconds before midnight, and he went ahead with the speech that he had prepared originally. So he just got too nervous to wait. So he
So
I'm not very good at keeping surprises.
So can you repeat the speech?
Oh gosh. I remember parts of it, but I don't remember the whole thing.
Yeah, I remember parts of it. It was really loud. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's really loud.
We were out in the middle of the strip, and so we had all these huge
All these
amount of people around.
Around us.
What was the intent of the speech? Because you'd thought about this
He
for a long
said-
time.
You said,
It was something like, I know I haven't known you for very long, and
I know I've asked you before.
Yeah.
I know I already asked you, but I love you very much. And something like that.
I think
and I want to.
that was it.
Yeah. Would you marry me? Yeah. It was pretty much it. That was pretty much the
Then
extent.
did it turn midnight?
Yeah. And then it turned midnight, and as we were kissing, somebody sprayed champagne, so we got champagne all over us.
Oh.
And then we have a picture of it right afterwards. He's got my lipstick all over his face, and mine's like all smeared.
Okay, so then you have to somehow call.
Okay,
and
so
break
then
the
I got
news to people.
we that night the next day.
Well, first we had a 3-hour walk down the strip,
Oh.
and
Yeah.
Amy's wearing her heels.
I had the
and,
worst walk of my life. My back hurt, my feet hurt. I'm never wearing high heels again. But it wasn't until the next day we decided to call Mom. And I was so nervous that Eric
I
had
had
to
to
dial the
convince
phone.
her. I had to convince her to call those. I'm like,
Yeah.
why don't you call your mom? And she, I don't know. And finally, so she picks up the phone and she can't even hold the phone.
I'm shaking
She's just
so
shaking so
bad.
bad. So I get the number from her and I start dialing it, and then she takes the phone from me.
And
And
Mom,
I'm at work.
Mom's at work, so I get on the. I'm so nervous. You know, I wish I had kind of done this more like elegantly, but I didn't because Mom. I go, "Hi, Mom," you know, and I'm on the verge of crying, and she's like, "Oh, hi, you know, how you doing?" I go, "Fine," and she says, "I go, I'm still in Vegas." She's like, "Oh," she goes, "What'd you do for New Year's?" And I go, "I got engaged." I just totally blurted it out, and then just started crying. I just couldn't. You know, that was it, and. She's like, hello?
So, who is this?
What? I don't know, Mom. What do you think?
I was in shock.
Yeah.
I was
think
very
so.
much in shock because at Christmas, you know, I could tell she was head over heels about this dude that I had never met,
I know.
and so I was totally in shock.
So then Mom put Dennis on three-way,
Yeah, I conference called him in,
and
and then he was in shock.
he was in shock. He said, he was like, he goes, "Are you drunk?" I
How
said,
old are you?
"Are you pregnant? How old are you?" Yeah, like all these questions. And I'm like, "No, I'm 23. I could do this. And then mom's like, well, if he was drunk, get something written down so when he sobers up, he can't take it back.
She goes, but mommy's sober now.
Yeah. So then mom talked to Eric on the phone.
Oh.
He gave me
Yes.
this
Was
look.
that hard?
My
So,
mom-
would you like to talk to my mom?
And he just ran.
No.
He just like ran into the other room, and I'm like, you're.
That was a nerve-wracking experience.
So what kind of questions did Julie ask you?
I don't even remember. I think I was very good.
Yes.
I think I was very good. At that point, it was very obvious that, Amy was very much in love and old enough to make her own decisions, and I trust her enough to make the right one.
Not to make the right one. That's what he said.
No, that's not what I said. So I figured, if she loves somebody enough to do that without me meeting them, they either are or better be very special. So now we're in the process of wedding planning, and to meet Eric, the reason we're all together is a family function in Colorado with the Whitney cousins, and Eric's been very good about tolerating all of us, and we've had little incidents along the way of illness, so he's been tested when,
Quite a bit.
when Amy went into the emergency room for altitude sickness. Been tested with our father, who had his own little set of circumstances. So he's doing pretty good. He's hanging in there. He hasn't, asked to use the Suburban alone yet, which is probably a good sign. And so now we'll meet again in about 2 weeks and start the wedding planning process. And we're all looking forward to that. Wedding, by the way, at this point we should mention, is July 14th, 2001. So there'll be a lot more videos along the way, but this is kind of an important one. Any closing remarks? Anything else you want to add for history? I'll tell you what I'd like to know. Eric, tell me 3 things that endear or are precious to you about Amy.
I'd say the first thing would be her friendship. The second thing, her patience. And then just the way that she takes care of me.
All right, Amy, it's your turn.
Well, 3 things I like about Eric. Well, his sense of humor and the way he really pays attention to me, and he's got a really nice body. Did I mention that? He's very sensitive. I really like it.
The reason I ask is those are qualities that you need to remember and to kind of keep alive, because people kind of forget those things. Okay, any parting remarks?
No.
All right, until next time.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.